Hi and welcome to this reading. This is a partial lunar eclipse. We are now in eclipse season, and this eclipse is in Taurus because the moon is in Taurus and the north node is still in Gemini. So it is at 1 degree Gemini and it will soon go into Taurus. But this is the first glimpse of what it will be like when the energy will be changing from Gemini to Taurus. And I would say it is more right now about our physical temple, our body, our values, our senses, and the earth. The matters of the earth will become a huge focus during the next years. And this partial lunar eclipse is about letting go of something to let something be born. And in my cards, you can buy them by the way if you want to, if you click on this Etsy link down below. We have guardian spirits, we have sacred garden, we have innocence, and we have Bina and Imbolc. And Bina and Imbolc are like the drum, the bass drum that is right now. It is the rhythm underneath, and it has to do with something that wants to be born into our reality that is limited. I mean, Ceres to me is the sister of Saturn. They both have a sickle and they both are connected to time and connected to cycles. And sometimes we want to keep something as a dream because we are afraid what will happen if it will come into this world, into the limits that this world has. But there is something with Imbolc. Imbolc is connected to Bridget, and Imbolc is connected to something that is already, where the goddess is already pregnant with. So it is not something that is vague, but it is already something that wants to be born, that is getting ready to be born. Something is getting ready to be materialized, but it can only be materialized if we recognize that we have to let go of something. And we, in this case, I would say we have to let go of a dream that we had, and where it is more about being instead of appearances, where it is not about this outside view, daring to experience it, not dreaming your life or dreaming your wishes, but experiencing them in this world, and to let the dreams die into this world. And I would say this is the message of the cards, and that with guardian spirits and with sacred garden and with innocence, the goddess wants us to let go of those castles in the sky, to be more real. And with innocence, we can only be innocent if we let go of the way others might perceive us, whether others like us or not, whether we will be successful or not, all those mind chatter. Innocence has to do with the heart, with the moment, and the more we are in the moment, the more we are innocent, the more we actually experience life as it is. And there is a miracle to that. And the cards and the astrology actually wants us to come home into the moment. With guardian spirits, in this moment we can experience the divine. We are protected by the divine. We are connected with everything that is. And we are ready to give birth what wants to be born, because there is something that is awaiting to be born. It is a time to become real. And we will see in the astrology, the North Node, as I said, is still in Gemini, and it is conjunct Ceres and Sedna, Sedna in Taurus. And also the moon is conjunct Sedna. And the sun is conjunct Mercury, the ruler of Gemini, where the North Node still is. So in society there might be a theme around where we failed nature, where we failed Mother Earth. Sedna is an Innuit goddess, and she knows everything about what we did wrong, how we failed nature, where we were disrespectful against nature. And I would say with Ceres and also with Lilith, that is also in conjunct the North Node, where we failed the feminine, where we failed the sacredness of life, the sacredness of our bodies, the sacredness of nature. A shaman once said to me that capitalism destroys nature because in the end we hate the feminine. Our society despises the feminine ways, and the feminine ways are the ways of simple life and of connecting, that connection and the simple life is more important than all those appearances and all those achievements which the capitalistic society wants us to believe in, because profit has to do with that. And leading a simple life, you cannot profit from that much. But we know if we want to survive, we have to put a simple life and our connection over profit. What we might have gained through a lot of material things, or our greed towards material things, is in the end maybe a very destructive substitute for connection. Because in the moment you truly connect to others or to yourself, you don't need that much. And this is what this partial lunar eclipse is talking about. The feminine goddesses are sitting there and are in a way our court. They are judging us, our behaviors. So I would say that in our society there will be huge discussions on where we failed towards nature and how we want to continue to treat nature. And on a personal level, how we define our life being part of nature, how we treat our sacredness just in simply being, how we treated ourselves badly because we thought we have to be someone. Appearances versus being, that it is more important how we appear versus who we are. And it is also a society problem, but it is also, society is made by humans, so we are all in this trap together. And this partial lunar eclipse is talking about what we have to let go of. And I would say we have to let go of our fixation on appearance, our fixation on more is better, and coming home to being is better, feeling is better, and connection is better. Connection with others and connecting with ourselves and connecting also with the divine. This partial lunar eclipse is also in a sextile to Neptune. In coming home to ourselves, to just being in the moment, we come home to our divine essence. Gautama Buddha was born in the sign of Taurus. He found enlightenment under the Bodhi tree in the sign of Taurus, and he died in the sign of Taurus, or went into Samadhi. If I truly come home to myself, I don't need that much. That doesn't mean that we don't need anyone or anything. Taurus is a Venus sign, and Venus always loves to connect and loves to interact, but it comes out of a fullness in the moment. And Gautama Buddha essence is coming home to the abundance of the moment, and that you find the true abundance in the here and in the now. Not about what others think of you, if I'm this, if I'm that, if I buy this, if I do this, but this in the moment. I'm here, and in this moment is all the richness that I need. And Venus is also in a sextile to Mars and in a trine to Uranus. So in this there is a new possibility to connect in a new way, to connect in a deeper way and in a more sensual way and in a more fruitful way. So if I come home to myself, I can also come home to you. I can be truly aware with you. Venus is going retrograde very soon, and I would say we are, like her, starting to go into the underworld right now, into the world of Sedna, into the world of Ereshkigal, into the world of the dark goddess that wants us to sacrifice something. And in this case, like in the cards, I would say the dark goddess wants us to sacrifice our illusions about us, about our world, and the illusions that have to do with appearances or what others think, the outer view, and come home to being. She wants us in the end to sacrifice an illusion. I will go through the signs now to see where this partial lunar eclipse will be for you and what it might be for you. So for example, if you have a Taurus Ascendant, that it is actually in your first house. So it means that your journey into the kingdom of the dark goddess, or what you have to let go, is actually the way you see yourself, it is the way you experience yourself, and there is an illusion about that, that you have to let go, that you have to sacrifice, but in doing that you will re-emerge and experience yourself anew. If you have an Aries Ascendant, then this partial lunar eclipse is in your second house, so your journey into the dark goddess, or what she wants you to let go of, is the way you see your body, maybe how you earn money or your finances, but most of all how you experience your body. And through this sacrifice you will gain a new view towards your body, and maybe also how you are able to earn money. And if you have a Pisces Ascendant, then this partial lunar eclipse is in your third house. So the dark goddess wants you to sacrifice the way you communicate, and maybe also your superficial way of connecting with people, or superficial connections, that maybe it is time to change your acquaintances or your neighborhood, that maybe you feel that the neighborhood that you live in is not something where you want to continue to live in. So maybe that will change during the next months. But also the way you communicate is changing, or the goddess wants you to change that and to sacrifice the way you communicated before, because maybe there was too much out of you, how you thought you have to communicate to be acceptable, and that this wants to be changed. If you have an Aquarius Ascendant, then the partial lunar eclipse is in your fourth house. So the dark goddess wants you to sacrifice the way you thought, this is the way I feel, and this is where I feel safe, and maybe also wants you to change your home. Maybe you should reorganize things and declutter stuff, or maybe actually moving. But the goddess wants most of all to change the way you thought, this is the way I feel, and maybe it is time for a new way of feeling, that you hold on to certain memories too much, and that these memories are in the way. Let go of them, become anew in your emotions. If you have a Capricorn Ascendant, then the dark goddess wants you to sacrifice something that has to do with your hobbies, something that has to do with the way you express yourself. And sometimes the way we express ourselves has to do with the way we think we are lovable, with the way we think others want us to be. And this is what the dark goddess wants you to let go of, and to come home into her dark kingdom, and to allow this expression to be new, and to experience maybe new form of sexuality, new form of hobbies that you have. But before you can experience that, you have to let go of this out of point of view. If you have a Sagittarius Ascendant, then the dark goddess wants you to let go of your routines, of your daily routines, the things you like to do on a day-to-day basis, or how you do that, and how you think others love you because you do that, and also maybe how you think this or that is healthy because you've read it somewhere, or someone told you that this is healthy, but you actually never felt that. And that the dark goddess wants you to come home to what is good for you, what you feel is good for you, what you experience is good for you, and to let go of what others told you that is good for you, or what maybe you are used to do, but maybe it's not good for you anymore. If you have a Scorpio Ascendant, then this partial lunar eclipse is in your 7th house. So this is actually about the way you relate. So maybe there is a new beginning in the field of relationships. But before that, you have to let go of the way you thought relationships have to be, or maybe your partner should look like, or maybe how you would like to feel in relationships, because this is what you have learned, maybe also from your parents, that this is the way to be happy. And maybe it is time to sacrifice that to the goddess and to experience a new way of relating. She invites you to do that. If you have a Libra Ascendant, then this partial lunar eclipse, or the dark goddess during this partial lunar eclipse, wants you to sacrifice the way you are intimate with others, the way you connect very intimately with others, the way you surrender to others, the way you share your resources with others. I mean, sometimes we give too much or we give too less. Sometimes we give because we think we have to give certain things, or sometimes we don't do that because we think maybe we shouldn't do that, but we are, again, more into how it looks like, and the dark goddess wants you to sacrifice this outer viewpoint and to feel into what you actually really want to share with others. If you have a Virgo Ascendant, it is about a new way of seeing the world. The dark goddess wants you to sacrifice your belief system, the way you thought this is acceptable from the outside, or this is the way I always saw the world, and this is the way I want to see the world because this is me, because my parents believe that, this is because the society around me believes that, this is because I always believed that. And the dark goddess wants you to let go of those beliefs, and maybe she also wants you to go on a journey, to maybe go on an actual journey, or maybe both, that you go on a real journey but also on a journey into yourself, what your soul wants you to believe, what is true for you in the moment, not so much what you think is true, but what truth comes to you in the moment. So the dark goddess wants you to sacrifice all the thoughts and all the constructs you have in your head. If you have a Leo Ascendant, then you have to sacrifice to the goddess the way you think others want you to be, the way you think, what others think that your duties are, what others think that you have to do for society, or that you have to do for them, or that you have to do in this world. But what is it what I really want? What is it what is my calling? What is my calling right now? What do I feel my calling is? And the dark goddess wants you to sacrifice those outer pictures, what you think success is and what you think others want you to shine the most, but where you feel the happiest. I mean, Leo is about joy. Where do you feel the happiest? This is the right journey. Follow your bliss. If you have a Cancer Ascendant, then it is about the 11th house, or the partial lunar eclipse is in the 11th house, or in your 11th house. So the dark goddess wants you to let go of where you feel you belong to towards groups, who you think your friends are, or what your role is in friendships. Maybe that role needs to change. Maybe you think you are only lovable if you do this or that for other people, and maybe this has to change. Maybe you should sacrifice that and come to the moment and experience how you really want to have friendships with other people, how you really want to experience being in community with others, and how valuable your true friends are. Maybe there is also a change in the field of friends in your relationships. And finally, if you have a Gemini Ascendant, then this partial lunar eclipse is in your 12th house. And in the 12th house, which is not so easy for a Gemini Ascendant, it is about surrendering, and that the dark goddess wants you to sacrifice that you have to know so much where it is going, but to come home into the moment and into the flow of the moment. This time, the next month, is about being in the flow with the Gemini Ascendant. It is not about finding out so much, about communicating so much, about information. It is about just being in the flow and surrendering to the moment and letting yourself, being like a leaf on a river. You will find your way, you will find your way. You will arrive where you need to be. You don't need to know so much. It will be done. It will be done for you. You have to surrender. You don't have to know everything. Life is a mystery, and these next months are about the mystery of life. So I hope that this video was helpful for you, and I wish you a wonderful and magical partial lunar eclipse, and that this is a time where the goddesses are standing around us and are talking to us, and what their message will be, we will find out in the moment. So a magical connection to the divine feminine inside you and around you, and a wonderful and blessed partial lunar eclipse. Till next time, namaste.